YouTube, it's Coco Bella, and I am back with another video. So you guys know today is Military Monday, and basically we're just going to talk about 0 week up until the end of your first week. So the first week, basically you go to a lot of classes, you also get your shots, you get your clothes issued, you get your details, the jobs that you're going to be doing throughout BMT. Also, we're going to talk about PT. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. When you get to BMT, like the very first day, they give you like this little box nasty or whatever, and it's like a sack lunch. We call it a box nasty because it ain't even that nasty. It's not that nasty, I swear to God. I don't know if I'm just fat, but I ate everything in boot camp. Everything was good to me. But it's like a sandwich, and I think it comes with like Oreos and all this other stuff, and like a little juice box, stuff like that. So yeah, they offer you a box nasty. Take that box nasty because that's the only thing you're gonna eat. You are not going to the chow house. You're not going anywhere. You're coming onto base. They'll sit you in a PRC. The PRC is like basically a place where they do presentations, or when you have like briefings, like all the flights will fit into the PRC, so you'll go there. But you'll come into the PRC and you'll see everybody that is in your graduation group or whatever, and they'll start to split you guys up. They'll start to call your name, females on this side, males on this side. They'll call your name, and once you hear your name, y'all will all be grouped together, and they'll put you on a bus. If you get on a bus, you are going to be in Alcatraz. You're going to be in Alcatraz. Just know, if they are directing you to a bus, you are going to be in Alcatraz. If you don't get on the bus, you're going to be in Disneyland, because the PRC is literally Disneyland. So just know that. They put us on the bus, and we drove straight to Alcatraz or whatever. Got off the bus, and your MTIs are right there, literally. Well, honestly, we didn't even get off the bus. We're sitting on the bus, and they come on the bus. They greet you, and they're like, you have 2 minutes to get your stuff and get off this bus. And I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I did not want to do it anymore, because like, honestly, I think they do that just to scare you. Honestly, boot camp is not scary at all. Like, you get used to the yelling. Once you know your MTI and stuff like that, you get used to them. Like, a lot of stuff start not to hurt your feelings anymore. But it's just like the first day. So of course you're gonna be scared. Of course you're gonna be sad. You're gonna want to go home. I swear, I told everybody I want to go home every single day. Every day. I said it like 20 times a day. I want to go home. I want to go home. I said it every single day, but regardless, I got through it. So we got off our bus, and this is still the first night. This is first night. I think some flights don't get in till like literally so late, like 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, so they'll be able to like sleep in a little bit, but that wasn't our flight. I think we were there, and honestly, I don't think nobody was late in our flight or nothing. So I think it was like 8 o'clock maybe. You ain't got your phone, you ain't got your watch, you ain't got nothing. They tell you turn all that stuff off. You'll call your parents one last time. Well, no, that's not your last time calling them. You'll call your parents when you get to the PRC. They'll line you up with whoever you came with, and you'll call your parents when you get to the PRC, and you'll turn your phone off. And then after that, your phone will be off until you give your last phone call. And so luckily I came with my friend Josh. So me and Josh knew each other in high school. We graduated together, went to the same high school. We both started working at academy together, and we both got the same leave date. And I didn't even know he was trying to join the Air Force until my recruiter said his name, and I was like, wait, I know Josh or whatever. So we had the same recruiter, we had the same everything. And then he was in my brother flight. So throughout the whole BMT, I saw him every single day. When you get to BMT, you're going to have a brother flight, or you might have a sister flight. It might be 2 female flights, it might be 2 male flights, or it might be a brother and sister flight. Or it might be like 3 male flights and 1 female flight. So it'll be like 4 flights, and all of y'all a brother and sister flight, or whatever it is. But I know it was just us 2 that were graduating in our squadron, and at the same time. It wasn't anybody else, just my flight and then my brother's flight. that started together. Sometimes it's 4 flights that start together in the same squadron, sometimes it's just 2, and I guess sometimes it's 3. But you'll understand that when you get to BMT. That's kind of confusing. But he was in my brother flight, and so I saw him every single day. Even though we didn't get to talk every day, but just the fact that I knew somebody, like, okay, he going through the same thing as me, so I don't feel as bad. And it ended up being like real cool. But when we got there, it was probably like 8 o'clock, and they told us to point to a locker. They're like, y'all point at a locker and then find a number on the locker and then find that number on the bed, and that's your bed and that's your wall locker. So once you point at the locker, you might have a bunk bed, you might have a single, but this is Alcatraz. So Alcatraz has bunk beds. Disneyland, I believe, you don't have any bunk beds, and it's like one bay. But Alcatraz has two different bays. It's A bay and B bay, and it's a wall separating A bay and B bay. But in Disneyland, I believe it's just one bay, like one flat surface, and everybody's in the same bay. Like, you see everybody when you wake up, and everybody has a flat bed and all that stuff. We don't. Alcatraz is a little bit, we from the hood, so you know, if you in Alcatraz, you know what I mean. But it's okay, it's okay. The hood and racist. But you'll point to like your wall locker and you'll point to your bed. And the first time I had a bottom bunk, which wasn't bad because my bunkmate was like real cool, so I didn't have to worry about her at all. And after that, they told us get naked. They was like, y'all need to take a shower, y'all stink, so get naked and get in the shower. And we were all like, okay, all right. And so like, you got some people that just, you know, ran right up in there, and I'm sitting up there in the corner standing with my towel like, I'm gonna wait till y'all done, cause this ain't it. I can't. I can't. But it was really no issue at all. Like, got in the shower and all that stuff. You do get issued towels when you first get there. When you're in the PRC and you're waiting and all that stuff, you get issued towels. You get your backpack. You get like a Apex. What else you get? Y'all get so much stuff. You get hand sanitizer, all this stuff. You get pens, notebooks, Sharpies. Everything you gonna need is basically in this backpack. This is before you get issued your uniform. So that's the first night. That's that Tuesday night that you roll up into boot camp. That is exactly what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna go from the PRC. From the PRC, you're gonna go to your dorm. From your dorm, you're gonna meet your MTIs. MTIs meet, take a shower. Once you take your shower, that's it. You're going to sleep, lights out. They leave after that. Then the next morning, they wake you up. Y'all are still in civilian clothes at this. I remember the next morning, which is that Wednesday, we got issued our uniform. And at the time, we were wearing ABUs. I think boot camp now is issuing OCPs, so ABUs are phasing out come April 2021. You can still wear ABUs, but it's no point. If you get issued them OCPs, wear them OCPs. Don't even waste your time buying no ABUs. So we got issued our ABUs. We got issued socks, boots, shirts. We got issued our PT uniform as well. Socks, shirts, shorts, pants, jackets. If you're going through during the winter, you'll probably get like winter stuff. I don't know what it is. I went during the summer. So we got issued all that. It comes in like this big old green bag, and I hate that bag because I don't think anybody liked that bag. But you do get issued shoes for PT. You can either wear your own shoes that you came to BMT with, or you could wear the shoes that they issued you. So we got issued all of our uniform, and you get 4 uniforms and 4 PT gear, 4 uniforms, all of that. So next we got our shots. The first time we got our shots, it was like 20 different shots. I swear, it was like 2 in this arm, 3 in this arm, go. And it was like literally 3 people on this side, 2 people on this side, and they do it all at one time. So you're getting like 5 shots at one time, and they're just telling you to walk. Either you're gonna be brave or you're gonna cry. Baby girl, I'm telling you to be brave because it's gonna happen regardless. I was like, what if I already got this shot before? I don't care. I don't want it again. Like, I don't care if you get all your shots before you go to boot camp. They still gonna give you the same shots that you just got last week before you went into boot camp. They do not care. They just want to make sure everybody's safe. Nobody wants to. You don't want to get sick in boot camp, even though you probably will because of all the dust. You still gonna get sick. But they still give you those shots. You cannot get out of the shots unless you're allergic to something. So that was like our first, like, that's kind of like first week. We also went to the mini mall when we got our uniform issued to us. So we went to the mini mall, and am I ashy? I think I am. We went to the mini mall, and the mini mall is where they charge you for all the things that they issued you in the beginning. So when you first get to the PRC, they give you this black backpack and all the extra stuff that goes into that black backpack that you have grabbed. They're gonna issue you, they issue all that stuff. You're gonna get charged at the mini mall. But also, you're going to pay for anything else that you need. I remember picking up like shampoo and conditioner and lotion and Spanx. I saw spandex in the mini mall. All the stuff that I listed before in my previous video, that's all in the mini mall. I remember picking all of that up. You get a lot of mini mall runs though, like almost every other week. I know for us, we had a lot of mini mall runs, which was pretty good. Like, we needed those mini mall runs because you also need tampons, you also need pads, some people run out of deodorant. Like, you need all of your feminine products, and all of that is at the mini mall. They let you grab all of that, just everything. It's a little store. It's a mini BX. That's why we call it the mini mall. And they have one by every squadron, if I'm not mistaken. So they have one by Alcatraz and they have one by Disneyland. So yeah, we went to the mini mall for that. And we also went to urinalysis. And then urinalysis is when I figured out that I did not like my MTI and we was not gonna get along. And she was just so rude. I feel like it was our 3rd day there and we still don't know what we're doing. And it's still kind of like new to us. So I don't understand why you have to be so rude or why you have to like be so, I don't know. I ain't like sis, and if I see sis on the streets, what's good? But nah, I wasn't really messing with her, and I tried to stay out her way, but every chance she got, she just always wanted to pull my 341. But it's okay, she can have them 341s because they ain't hurt me, because I'm here now, period. Anyways, urinalysis is exactly what it is. You pee in a cup. Make sure you ain't smoked when you got to the airport or whatever it was that you did. So you pee in a cup. After that, it was Friday, and I believe on Friday we did PTing. Yeah, we did our first PT day, or it was probably Saturday. I think Saturday was our first PT day. So you PT Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday you rest. It's the off day. So on Saturday when you start PTing, it's not as bad as you think, and I think all Saturdays are run days. It's like every other day, but they still make Saturday a run day regardless. So, well, I know for our squadron it was. That's how they always made sure we ran on Saturdays. So it'll be like run day, strength day, run day, strength day, and then Saturday is probably gonna be a run day. But when it's like your first week or you're a 0 weeker, then you run for 3 minutes and then you walk for 3 minutes, and you'll do that for the whole 30 minutes. And it's just basically for you to get used to running for like 30 minutes, and after a while it gets really easy. So that's really like your whole 0 week, just setting you up, getting you ready. And also for 0 week, they teach you your reporting statement. So probably like the very first night, that you get there, you get they tell you your reporting statement, which is sir and ma'am, trainee, whatever your last name is, reports his order. So mine would be ma'am, trainee Bell reports his order. And you stand at attention when you're talking to the MTI, and yeah, that's it. Until they're done talking to you, then you could go at ease. But they teach you that. Also, for details, they give everybody details for like the first week. So details consist of dorm chief, element leader, guide on, row guards, child runners, water monitors, hallway crew / pad crew, utility monitor, laundry crew, latrine crew, end of bed display, shoe aligner, bed aligner, bed tightener, day room, PT monitor, flight office, and weapons monitor. So dorm chief, we all know what a dorm chief is. Basically, whenever the MTI isn't there, the dorm chief is like the boss. It's honestly hard being a dorm chief. It's really hard being a dorm chief. You gotta really want to be bossy. A lot of people hate dorm chief. Majority of the people hate dorm chief, and honestly, you're probably not gonna keep the same dorm chief throughout your whole BMT experience. They get switched out. Dorm chiefs, sometimes dorm chiefs just suck, so you're not always gonna have the same dorm chief, and if you do, kudos to that dorm chief because they really did their job. Next is element leaders. So you have 4 element leaders because there are 4 elements. When you line up to march, we line up in elements: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th element. The people in the front are the element leaders. They're basically line leaders, but they're also the people who you go to if you can't go to the dorm chief. They're like next in line. So it's MTIs, dorm chief, element leaders, basically your tiny chain of command. So whenever you need anything, you could go to the element leaders. If they don't know, they go to the dorm chief. If the dorm chief don't know, then they go to the MTIs. It's basically, these people are in charge so we can condense like the work that the MTIs have to do. They already have to do so much work, but if they can find these people in a flight to help them out, and it could really help them. Instead of like us always going to the MTIs with problems that we have, we go to the element leaders. The element leaders take it up to the dorm chief, and the dorm chief handle it like that. So that's the point of the dorm chief and the element leaders. But it's really hard being element leader as well. Element leaders switch out just the same as dorm chief does. You have guide on. So the person that holds the flag. If you were in ROTC, you already know what guide on is, but we love that guide on. Well, the last guide on we had, we loved her because she was like boss. Like, she was not playing, she was sturdy. The flag was never fish hooking. Like, she was just on top of her game, and she always did what she had to do. So guide on is kind of hard, but once you learn how to do it, your fingers will cramp up. The way you hold that flagpole is so weird, but if you want to be guide on, you know, just raise your hand, because y'all are all going to be in the day room, and they're going to be like, all right, we have this job. Mostly the MTIs pick out who dorm chief is and pick out the element leaders, or like if you're always in the front, they'll be like, all right, y'all the element leaders, until y'all show them that you can't march. Then they'll kick you out and they'll put somebody else in there. But majority of the time, it takes a while for them to pick element leaders and a dorm chief. But as far as like these other details and jobs, they kind of like, all right, who wants to do this, or who's good at this and who's good at that. Don't be afraid to raise your hand though. Never be afraid to raise your hand. You don't want to get picked for anything, trust me, so raise your hand. Next is row guards. So when we're crossing the street, row guards march in the back, and they have vests on. So when we're crossing the street, row guards come out in front of the flight, stop whatever traffic is coming, and our flight continues to march. Child runners. I know y'all heard so much about child runners. Basically, you have a reporting statement telling the MTIs that your flight is ready to eat. So as a child runner, you'll have a wingman. Whoever the child runner wingman is, I recommend you learn a reporting statement of the child runner as well, because sometimes the snake pit is where the MTIs sit at in the child hall. Sometimes the MTIs in the snake pit will be like, child runner, shut up, I don't want to hear from you, wingman, go. And you'll have to recite whatever it is that the child runner was supposed to recite. So if you're going to be the child runner's wingman, make sure you know what you're doing, and make sure you have that same confidence as a child runner. You need to be child runner number 2. So just to get that out there, because that happened to a lot of people, and if you don't know what you're doing, then you're gonna get like digged into, like they're gonna be on you just because you a wingman. But that's child runner. You also have water monitors. Water monitors come in and they monitor the water. So they basically fill up all the water glasses that your flight has, and you'll get relieved by somebody else. So you'll get relieved by the next flight coming in after yours, and they'll take over and fill the glasses up for their flight, or until your MTI be like, water monitors, go eat, then you can leave. Also, you need to know your facing movements as a water monitor as well. Next is hallway crew and pad crew. So the hallway is basically outside of your dorm. The stairs has to be cleaned and swept and dusted, so you'll do that. The pad crew is basically the pad where we march, where we line up. You want to basically brush the pad and stuff like that. So that's that. Utility monitor. Why do I keep saying monitor? Utility monitor. Anyways, so this is for the utility closet. So basically all your brooms, mops, tissue paper, everything that you need to clean up the dorm, it's all in the utility closet. Also for the latrine crew to get all types of stuff, laundry crew to get the Tide Pods, they get the bags that they use to put all of the laundry in. All of that is in the utility closet, and it's 2 people that monitor that closet to make sure nobody is messing it up. It has to be clean, because when you get like your dorm inspected, they go straight to that utility closet, and it's always a mess, and that's what always messes you up. It's the closet and it's the latrine, so that could really mess you up later. But they have 2 people that do that. You also have laundry crew. Laundry crew washes everybody's clothes. I was laundry crew, and it was cool until I realized that I was missing out on a lot of stuff. So you wash clothes every single day, because we wear clothes every single day. We PT every single day, so you have to wash clothes every single day, and that takes a lot of time out of your day. So majority of the time I was literally washing clothes, and I was missing out on learning facing movements. I was missing out on different things that we did in the day room. I was just basically missing my flight. And I remember asking my MTI, like, can we switch jobs? Like, do we have to have the same jobs like the whole 8 weeks? And they were like, no, you don't. Like, everybody should have a chance of doing something, you know. You don't have to be stuck doing this one thing. So I would recommend y'all ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions at all. But yeah, laundry crew, and then you have latrine crew, latrine queen, all that stuff. The latrine crew basically cleans the latrine, cleans the showers, cleans the toilets, the mirrors, all of that stuff. In the bed display, so they'll show you how to do an in the bed display, how they want the end of the bed to look, with your towel, your laundry, like your laundry bag, and I don't know what else goes on there. I think it was just a towel and a laundry bag, and they want it to look perfect. So the in the bed display person goes by around all the beds and look at it and make sure it's perfect as the MTI wants it to look. You have a shoe aligner. So that's basically what they do, align the shoes. They'll show you how to line your shoes up, how it's supposed to look at the end of the night, how it's supposed to look during the day when no one's in the bays. And the shoe aligner just goes through like everybody's bed and make sure the shoes are like lined up perfectly heel to heel. Bed aligner. The bed aligner basically aligns all the beds. The beds do move because we, you know, at night how you get in them and they'll move around and stuff. Even the bunk beds, they move. So the bed aligners really just go through and make sure each bed is lined up as it's supposed to. bed tightener. They go in with like a clipboard and tighten up the beds, make sure they look like real tight. They want you to be able to bounce a corner off the beds, like bounce a quarter off them beds. What is up with my speech? They want you to be able to bounce a quarter off the beds or whatever, so they make them real tight. So that's what the bed tightener does. Day room crew. So the day room crew basically goes in there and does the day room. PT monitor. PT monitor stands in front of the flight during PT, and also when someone fails their PT test, or you have 3 PT tests. Yeah, 3 PT tests. One your first week, and then 3rd week, and then your final PT test. But the PT monitor helps people who have failed and helps people who needs improvement. You got the flight office person. Basically, that person cleans the flight office. That's where the MTIs sit. I know we had 2 entrances to the flight office, one where the MTIs entered and then one where we could enter, and it was like little stuff like a scale back there. We had scissors for when we needed to clip strings on our uniform. It was all type of stuff in there, and they just wanted it to be neat on that side. Weapons monitor. So the weapons monitor is basically the person that looks up for all the weapons. So if anything is wrong with it when you break it down, or if something's missing from it, they are to like report it to the MTIs, and the MTIs will take care of it. That's all for that. Also during first week, that's basically like your 0 week. So you get to Sunday, and every Sunday you become a different weeker, if that makes sense. So you're 0 weeker at first. During 0 week you are wearing sneakers, so everyone knows exactly who you are. Everybody knows you're 0 weekers or first weekers, because you don't really start wearing your boots until the 2nd week. You don't wake up and put your boots on until the 2nd week, because they want you to break your boots in. So half of the day you'll be wearing shoes, and then the rest of the day you'll be wearing your boots. And on Sundays you are able to go to services. So they have different services. They have Catholic services, they have Christian services, they have atheist services, they have Buddhist, Wiccan. They have all types of services for literally everybody and anybody. I always went to the humanist atheist service because they showed like clips of movie trailers and stuff like that. Although I am Christian, I still went to humanist atheist. It was just fun. It's not about being an atheist, it's none of that stuff, and when you go you'll see. But it was like super fun. It was a lot of discussions. It gave me time to write letters. So I always wrote letters in service and stuff like that. And then during your first week of training, that's when you'll learn how to march. That's when you'll learn your facing movements. That's when you'll PT more, and that's when you'll start going to classes. So guys, that's all I got for my first week and 0 week and my first week. Next week we'll talk about 2nd week and 3rd week, and so on and so forth. If you guys have any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them down below, and I'll do the best that I can to answer them. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.